Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to FabFit Friday. I honestly cannot believe it's Friday again. This week flew by so fast, and I was thinking about my new pair of jeans that I'm working on. I do have the legs cut out. I've got the front pocket pieces cut out, and I decided what I'm going to do for this pair is simply share how to make a pair of jeans start to finish without using your serger. Because I know that some people who follow along with me don't have a serger. So I'm going to start with some tips for mixing stretch and non-stretch fabrics for pocket bags and stretch denim today, because that's where I am. Let me just stop and say hi to Barbara. Hey Barbara, how's it going? I think it's just you and me right now. I had to get myself set up, and of course every time, I think I have everything set up, some glitchy thing happens, but it's good. I think you can hear me. Everything's working, and I'm going to switch my view here to share what I have in front of me. First, I want to share the photos of what I'm going to be making. Hey, Linda Lee, welcome, welcome. Okay, so here is my, hey Kay, welcome. All right, so here is what I'm doing. I just want to make it nice and crisp so you can see. These jeans right here are what I'm going to make. And the reason why I chose this style is because I want the big white cuff to show. And remember, the denim I'm working with has gray and white because it's black and white threads woven together. So that's the style I'm making. Hey, Vicky. Oh, you're watching the Grand Slam curling, so follow you on my phone, but I will be distracted. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, Vicky. So before I get going, I want to share my other exciting thing. I stopped at my dad's on Tuesday. I visit with him every week, and you can see right here what this is it's a vise, and it's the kind of vise that opens like this and then it closes like this. Oh, you're having a snowy day. Hey, Paulette, welcome. Hi, Sue, welcome. And oh, it's snowy in Manitoba. Oh, I'm really excited because I think we're going to get snow on Saturday that we can actually shovel. We could get 4 to 6 inches, the first major snowstorm for us in literally years. So I am looking forward to having a little snow. All right, so what I want to show you here is, I'm not going to do a cool tool on this, I don't think. I mean, maybe I will. Vicky actually had shared with me she uses a vise to put in her snaps and her different things because you can control how slowly and gently you close this, to squeeze it, right? So after I got off my my cool tool for this week was my heavy duty snap setter I got. And if anybody missed this, this was one of the most satisfying cool tools I've ever done because it's so satisfying to set a snap and have it work the first time and have it not pop off when you close it and try to open it. This little gizmo right here, and I do have an Amazon affiliate link for it. I mean, I have a tabletop snap setter that I left in the car, and it's a little bit rusted, and my dies are a little bit rusted. So it's, it's not like this. It's a tabletop professional version. This handheld version is only $20, or 20-something dollars. But the thing about it is it works really, really well. So I did a cool tool on this past Monday. I'll put a link in the description after I get off for it. And you can see I've got these heavy duty snaps. Well, what happened was, and you'll see this if you go back and watch the tutorial, I wanted to put 2 snaps in my jeans, okay? And what happened was, let me just make this brighter here so you can see what I'm sharing. This snap, this was too thick, and I couldn't get the post of the snap in. And you can see I ended up getting it in. And if I shut it, you can see it shuts and it opens and it does not break. It's really in there well. I tried it many times. I always test snap a snap multiple times to make sure none of the parts are going to pop back off, because that can happen if you don't install it exactly, firmly. But how did I get this so skinny? I tried during my Cool Tools to pound it with my hammer. That did not work. So I literally put it in the vise. Okay, I put it in the vise, and then I squeezed it as tight as I could. Okay, so, let's pretend, I put it in there, and then I came back the next day and I squeezed it some more. I was able to get it tighter over time. So it squeezed enough that I could put the snap there. So I have my dream of 2 snap closure for the first pair of jeans I did for this Jean Sew Along. So I will be trying this. Vise on other things, like putting in snaps and rivets, just to see, other options. So I'm kind of excited about this one. This one, if I expand out, it's mounted to a board, so I can hold it and use it. So thank you, Dad. It's not expensive. It's not even iron. It's a hard plastic. This part is, but it worked. So very excited about the vise. So thank you, Vicki. I also want to say that I am teaching this class next Saturday. It's going to be leggings with pockets using my Trident yoga pants class. So if anybody's interested in that, I can, priority mail you the kit, or you can take the class and get the PDF. It's going to be a really fun class. It's a 5-hour class because I want to make sure I have time to help everybody finish before they leave the room. That's going to be Saturday the 25th. And I do have a kit with my performance sports knit that's really nice. All right, all right, now let's get back to these jeans. Oh, before I get back to these jeans, let me just stop and see in the comments. Vicki said school's canceled, highways closed, snow day. Wow. I'm jealous, Vicki, because I'm sure my daughter, who teaches 3rd grade, is already thinking to herself, oh great, we're going to get snow on Sunday into early Monday morning, but it's Martin Luther King Day here, so it's already a day off from school. So even if it does snow Sunday, my daughter would have the day off anyway because she teaches. Hey, Martha-Ann. Oh, Martha-Ann's not a snow lover. She's happy she's in Florida. And then you say, oh boy, your dad is the bomb. He is the bomb. My dad is the bomb. I love him. And whenever I need something tool-wise, I just go to his house, and he usually has like extras of stuff. I told him I'm not going to take his vise if he needs his vise, but this is an extra vise. So yeah, I got a vise. All right, so here's what I want to talk about today. I'm going to move my picture of my inspiration. Let me just stick it over here. Okay, so I decided this time I'm going to show you how to make jeans. Last time I showed unique details. This time I'm going to show you steps to make jeans without finishing the edges on the serger. Denim frays, and sometimes you'd want it to fray, for example, but I'm going to show you how to clean finish. I'm going to give you different options for clean finishing everything so you don't have to use a serger. So if you don't own a serger, you can make jeans this way. And we're going to start today with the front pocket pieces, because as we know, we have a pocket bag, a fashion facing, and it all gets sewn together with the front pocket opening to make the front pockets. I have some fabric here. I'm going to switch my view back. Oh, Barbara says, yes, her dad is really cool. He is cool. Although, oh wait, here's something funny. So he calls me up the other day and he goes, all right, well, I'm going to be trying to, he's trying to like clean out his email box, right? He gets a lot of emails and he's been following along my mother's emails, and that's how he finds me sewing things sometimes. But he literally is now on the kick to figure out how to end Pinterest because he's getting way too many emails from Pinterest that were my mom's. So I don't know, he might not be able to find me as many cool things because he's really trying to limit his inbox, and so Pinterest is going to go, and that's how he finds a lot of things for me. But I think all the emails are driving him crazy. So that's his goal this week, is to skinny down his emails. So anyway, that I thought was kind of funny. All right, we're going to switch back over to here, and I'm going to bring this in so I can show you. What I want to show you here is, let me just get it so it's a good color. And also, I want to zoom in here for a second so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so this is a non-stretch pocketing fabric. It's a very lightweight pocketing fabric. I think you can see through it. See how it's see-through. Very lightweight. No stretch here. Okay, so there's no stretch. So I'm going to fit from the waist to the crotch level. I'm going to fit that onto my body so it fits without having to stretch too much, because I'm going to be attaching this to the center front edge and then also the side seam. So if I go out a little bit, you can see the entire shape. Okay, but what I want you to notice here is, if you're going to be making jeans and you're going to be combining a non-stretch pocket bag with your stretch denim fabric facing to protect the view of your front pocket, what can happen is, and I'm just gonna zoom in here again so you can see it. See how the denim stretched, and I got a pucker here when I came around. I started over here, went down, went around, and came back. And when I joined where I started, I got this pucker because this denim stretches, okay, but the black does not. And the reason why this happened is because of those two things. Plus, I sewed with the denim face up, and the non-stretch was face down. That means the feed dogs were helping the black fabric, and it was not helping this. This is what needs the help. If you put the stretch fabric against your feed dogs, then it's going to help feed the fabric while the black fabric is on top and it's kind of being dragged along for the ride. So that's what I want to show you today, because here's the second pocket bag I have. I sewed both of them, and what did I do? It's my, oh, it fell on the floor. So here's the version I did with it, with the denim face down, and you can see everything is nice and smooth. The other thing I can show you here is, which also proves my point, see how I pressed it and I had to press in some wrinkles because when the denim stretched and then I sewed it on, extra black got caught in there, so that's not laying nice and flat. You can see here there's just extra play in there. And if we look at the one I did with the denim side face down, you can see that's very smooth. Okay, so there's no extra fabric getting caught because I sewed it with the denim face down. So let me just show you an easy way to do that. So now I have my pocket bags here. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to cut a new one of these. I forgot about that part. Hold on, I've got my scraps, and I've got my, okay, so remember, this is the denim I'm using. You can see it's almost white on the inside and it's gray on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and cut myself a pocket bag using the little piece, which I have here somewhere. Honestly, I don't understand how I lose things. I cleaned my entire work surface, so like my table is really nice and neat. There's nothing piled on it that I'm not working on, so it's like I needed to I don't know what I did with that. All right, I don't know where my pattern piece is, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make this my pattern piece by just cutting this out. I don't know what happened to it, so I'm just gonna cut this out and use this as my pattern piece. Okay, let me see here. Oh, Barbara's asking me where's my source for the pocket fabric. I actually got this pocketing fabric at a local fabric store called Americana Fabric. And I think that they've now added a website for online orders. So when I get off, I will put a link to that in the description of this video. So I'm just going to make a note for myself. I'm going to be putting... What else did I say I was going to put? Oh, I'll put the class. If anyone wants to do the yoga pants class, I will, or leggings class, I'll put that link. I'll put a link to Americana Fabric so you can see if they have it there. You probably can search for pocketing fabric too. There's a store in New York City, Guide Fabric. It's a wholesale shop. They carry it, so I know it must be around. I just happened to grab this when I was there, but I will put a link. So the reason why I keep this as my good pocket, I want to make sure when I cut my second fashion fabric facing, it's facing the right way. So it needs to face this way. So that's also another good reason to use my denim piece as the pattern piece. All right, so I'm just going to cut this out here. Now you'll notice to sew it on, I use the triple or three-step zigzag because that is an excellent built-in stitch that almost every sewing machine has that works wonderful to control the fraying. So this is what it looks like up close. Let me see if I can get it really close for you so you can see it on here. Maybe make it a little bit brighter. And I think if you can look really, really close at this, I think you can see that each zigzag is made up of 3 short straight stitches. That's what makes it a great stitch for finishing edges if you don't have a serger. Triple zigzag. Hey Angela, welcome. I'm late to the party. What's the special about the pocket fabric? Something different than cotton? Oh, I'm glad you asked that because I burnt it to see if I could figure out what the fiber content was. So this pocketing fabric has some synthetic in there because I got some hard beads when I burnt it. So I'm going to guess it's like a poly blend, or maybe it's just polyester. Some of it didn't bubble up, so I'm guessing it's a blend. I'm not a textile expert, but I do like to burn the fabric to see what it does. So I did get a few hard beads and some, you know, just some ashy things. So I'm guessing it's probably mostly polyester, and it's just really, really thin, lightweight fabric. I mean, Kay is saying she uses pretty cottons for her pocket bags, and I do that 90% of the time, but I thought I would try this since I got it from the store. So that's really the only reason why I'm trying is because I just happened to find it, and it's so lightweight. I think it'll be less likely to show through the leg of the jeans from the right side because it's so fine of a fabric. Hey Crystal, welcome from Hickory, North Carolina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so I have my new fashion fabric facing here, and you know what I'm gonna show you how to sew this on in 1 minute. And I cut myself a new pocket bag, so it's going to go on like this, right? Okay, I'm gonna do that in 1 minute. I got a delivery, I got a special delivery, and what I'd like to do is take a minute and show that first. So we will get back to this pocket bag in 1 second. I'm sorry, I didn't forget. I was debating about sharing with you, but I'm going to share with you. And I don't think she'll mind. I don't think she'll mind me sharing with you and telling telling you that where I got this from. I received this box from Polly. She's one of my sewing friends. She decided what she was going to do is send me a box of, let me just show you, of these comfort hearts. These were the hearts that hospice put on under my mom's hands when she was in hospice, and then they give them to the families. So I made a pattern, and it's a free project on my website. And so she emailed me and told me she was sending me a box of them. So I thought maybe it'd be fun to, let's open it up together and see what they look like. So I was meaning to do that, and I thought it'd be more fun to open them. Oh, Polly, hey! You came in just in time. Do you recognize this box? Polly's here. I told everybody you sent me this box. And I felt like instead of opening it by myself, I would open it during Fab Fit Friday. And I was really hoping you'd show up today so you could see me open it. All right, so let's see what's in this box from Polly. Oh my goodness. Polly, look at these beautiful comfort hearts. Oh, these are so sweet, and they are so soft. Look at all the pretty, oh my God, I'm gonna dump them out on the table. Look at this. Oh my goodness. All right, these comfort hearts are making my heart so happy. Polly, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you're not aware, you know, my mom passed away in November, and she was at Middlesex Hospice in the hospital. And hospice is such a wonderful resource for families, and so I wanted to give back. So I've made some comfort hearts. Now Polly has made some comfort hearts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver these to hospice. I did get an email from someone who'd like to know if this would be a good ASG charity project. So I'm going to find out if hospices around the country accept this as something that you can donate. So if you wanted to use the pattern and then donate them to your local hospice, that I would love for that as well. Because, you know, just seeing your loved one looking like they're comforted and cared for makes such a difference. And, you know, seeing my mom's hands on these soft hearts really did our whole family so much good. That's the only way I can describe it to you. So Polly, thank you so much for sending me these and making these. They're perfect. I love them. I'm going to be delivering them to the Middlesex Hospice. And, you know, I'm just very grateful that you sent me this box. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, and I'm really happy that you came today so you could see me open the box. Oh, look at there. Here's a Minky one. This is Minky. Very, very sweet. Okay. So I'm glad I remembered to do that, and I'm glad Polly was here. Okay. All right, now back to here. Let me just catch up with the other comments that we have. Oh, Polly says you're welcome. No, seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so Art for Love says, agree, love no Serger. And then, oh my God, I love the heart pillows. I had a rectangle one in the ICU. That's another good point, Art for Love. My stepson was in ICU for like 10 days after his motorcycle accident. So maybe they can use them in more places in the hospital besides the hospice area. You know, and then, you know, the funny thing is you're in a crisis, you're at the hospital with your loved one, and all of these things are there. And, you know, it really occurred to me, like, who makes these? Like, how do they get these? You know, so I like to be part of the answer to that question, and I really appreciate anyone who also makes them. If you want to make them and send them to me, you can. But again, if you want to make them and donate them to your local hospital, I would love for that too. All right. Oh, Polly says they're quick to make. And Art for Love says, sweet of Polly. Da, da, da. All right. And Barbara says, it's a nice thing you're doing, you and Polly. Oh, yay, yay, yay. And then I think someone said something about Oh, Pat. Hi, Pat. I appreciate you sewing without a serger. Signed, Serger phobic. Oh my goodness, for serger phobic. I get that. One of my most popular classes on pattern review is Break Your Serger Out of the Box, which is a how to make friends with your serger if you bought one and never opened it because you were afraid, or maybe you took it out of the box and you were afraid and then you put it back in the box. So, you know, I do want to help you become friends with your serger if you own one as well. But the fact of the matter is, some people don't even own sergers. And, you know, you don't need a serger to sew. So I'm going to show you ways that you can get around not having a serger and still get a nice professional look. So again, we're starting out with these front pocket bags. Oh, Art for Love says the mini pillow was a godsend. It fit under my neck and hand perfectly sized. That is so nice of you to share that, Art for Love. Thank you. All right, yay. Okay, so let me go back to my table view. Like maybe not so much of me. Let me flick this around this way. All right, what I'm going to do here is let's go back and look at this. Let me pull it down a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I've now verified I need to make a left and a right, or a right and a left, whatever. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to put it upside down on the back, because what I want to do is make a guide, because I want to stitch it from the wrong side. So I am going to use a piece of my chalk, and I'm not going to have to look for my chalk, because here's another thing I loved. I did this as a cool tool, and I keep a little piece of chalk right here. So it makes my heart so happy that I don't have to keep looking for all my little things. I just keep them in that organizer. So I'm going to make sure my my piece is weighed down, and then I'm just going to dash around the shape of this, and then I'll know where to sew from the wrong side. Now I eyeballed it when I did it on mine, but you know, sometimes if you're using a fabric you can't see through or feel through, it's kind of helpful to have a little guide. And you can see here this guide is not anything fancy, it's just a dashed line. Oh, Pat, Pat's asking you where Paris is. It's in Illinois. But I always remember what town she lives in because it sounds like, you know, Paris, France. So I'm thinking of where Kay lives, I know. And she says Paris, Illinois. Right. Okay, I'm answering for you. Uh-oh, Barbara opened her serger up and broke it? Oh no. All right. So I'm going to now turn this back around. I don't care that I really can't see it, but I don't care. I'm going to put it right here like this. And then I'm going to get my pins. And I'm just going to put 2 pins on this side, because this is going to be the underside, remember? Now I'm going to turn it over. Okay, and then I'm going to replace those pins with pins on the side I can see, because I don't want the pins to be on the underside of my work, but basically I'm just going to put pins like this. And I'm pinning in a way where I don't really have to take it out. Okay, so I've got some good pinning going on here now. So I'm going to take out these 2 pins that I secured it with initially. And now we're going to go to the sewing machine. Okay. All right. And let's get a bit lower and zoom in here. I'm going to crank this up a little bit and lower so you can really see. What I'm doing, and then I'm going to zoom in so you can really see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I've got my, this is going to go against the feed dogs, and I'm going to start right here, I think. And I've selected the triple zigzag. And just to show you that stitch another way, I'm going to show you on my stitch card here. So if you're looking for the triple zigzag, notice here there are 2 zigzags right next to each other on my machine. So I've got this one, that's my standard zigzag. It takes 1 stitch for each zig and zag. And then notice this one, let me see if I can get it really close so you can see it. See how it's made of a dotted line? That's the one you want. And I will tell you that most machines, even basic machines, have this stitch. That's the other reason why I'm showing you this. Martha said, I love the pattern for the heart. My son is at Yale, New Haven, waiting for a heart and kidney. Oh my goodness, Martha Ann, his original heart transplant failed. I think he would like it, especially if I sewed it. I will put the link to the Comfort Heart pattern on, in the description, or if you search for it on my website, you can also find it there. It's a 2-page PDF pattern and instructions. I should have put it on here before I got on. I'm sorry, I'm not organized today. Reminds me of old country Rome, Georgia, Athens, Texas, Paris, Texas. Yep. Rome, Georgia, Athens, Texas, Paris, Tennessee. Yep. Oh, thank you, Polly, for telling everyone. It is on my website. Honestly, like if I could be an organized, you know what I mean? Hold on. J Stern Designs. J Stern Designs. I can look for it. Oop. Okay, so here it is. Blink. So here it is. I'm just going to put it in the chat if anybody's interested. But also, I'm putting it in the chat, but don't feel like you have to send them to me. Really and truly, seriously, if you want to make them for your local area, that would make my heart happy as well. Okay. All right, let me get back to over here now. Yes, Barbara. Barbara says our prayers are with you and your son, Martha. I'm sending you prayers and warm fuzzies too. That's a tough one. Ugh. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to start sewing. I have my stitch set at 5 for a width and 1 for a stitch length. And basically, I'm just going to stitch along now. Okay, I can see that it slid a little bit here. That little 1/8 of an inch isn't gonna kill me, but I'm just gonna stitch along. And what I'm doing with my line is I'm stitching just inside the line because this is the outside edge of the pattern piece. So that's why I'm stitching just inside the line. This pin got a little close. Get that out of the way. Okay. And then I'm going to take this one out because I can see it's going to be in the way. Now I can feel as I'm sewing up to the beginning, here's where I started, I can feel this not stretching and this is easing in with the feed dogs. All right, so let's look at that. So see how at the very corner where I stopped and started, there's no pucker. And I think you can see how nice and flat that's laying. Okay, so that's how you can deal with finishing edges. Well, not only finishing edges, but if you want to work with a stretch denim and your pocket bags are not stretch, if you sew them upside down like this, look how nice that is. Okay, and these edges will stay relatively fray free because that triple zigzag is just a really, really effective at protecting the edges from being frayed. Okay. All right, so now let's look at what I have here. Okay, I've got my pieces for my pockets, and I'm just gonna now make us a little bit of a wider view. Okay, so the next step is I'm not going to put coin pockets on these. I'm just going to keep them plain, simple pockets. And I just want to remind everybody, if you are working with a pattern that you adjusted quite a bit. Oh, I think I saw a question about pattern. Hold on one second. Let me go back. I think I saw something I didn't answer that had to do with, oh, Art for Love asked, do you have custom jeans if we could send measurements? No, I don't sew jeans for people, but I do teach people how to fit them using my pattern. So I don't do custom work like that. I apologize. I don't have time, but I do teach people how to fit jeans. And I have a lot of free tutorials on my YouTube that show that. So this is an example of the orange lines and the silver lines. Those were me showing how to put or design a front pocket bag right on the front leg. And I actually showed a deeper, different kind of pocket with a different opening and right on this pattern piece. For the class, I was doing a pants fitting follow-up. And then when I went back to sew my jeans now, I had to design the pocket bag for this style. So here is my pocket shape. This is my pocket fabric facing, and this is the bottom of my pocket bag and front pocket facing. So I designed the pocket pieces right on this thing, and then I traced them off. So for example, this is how I got the pocket bag. It fits on like that. This is the front pocket facing like this, and then I've already established that I've already lost my fabric facing that protects this view, but I'll find it when I clean up. So just to keep these two things together, I'm just going to put a pin in it and put them aside. All right, so now, we took care of the raw edges here. The rest of the edges are still raw, but I'm going to show you how to construct a front pocket. Again, we're not going to be using any serger. So here's my front leg. So I'm going to take my front pocket facing, and I'm just going to put it right sides together like this. Okay, so you can see the front pocket opening lines up, everything lines up. So our first step to sewing the jean pocket bag is to sew around the front pocket opening, and just to keep my edges even, I'm going to put pins. And remember, I'm still working with a non-stretch and stretch fabrics together, so I'm going to make sure my denim is face down so the feed dogs will pull that up for me and compensate for that stretch. So I'm putting my pins in like this. Okay, so notice I just have 4 pins in there. You don't need a ton of pins. 4 pins is enough. All right, now let's bring this back over here, and I'm gonna just switch to a straight stitch, and I'm gonna put that down like that. I'm gonna put my needle in so I can fix my camera. So again, I'm gonna change my angle and lower this so I can really zoom in here for you. Oops. This. Okay. All right. So we're going to be sewing the front facing to the front pocket bag now. And I'm going to move my needle over slightly because I'm going to use a 3/8 inch seam allowance. This foot, if I left the needle in the middle, it would be a full 1/2 inch seam allowance to the edge. So I'm just going to move it over a little bit to make it more like 3/8. Then I'm going to start stitching. And I'm just using the edge of my presser foot as a guide to sew evenly around. If you're going around a tight curve, lift your presser foot, let everything relax, and then put your presser foot down when the needle's in the down position. Like, see, it's kind of tight here, so just to help me, see how I'm just relaxing it and going slow. Okay. All right. So I sewed that on. The next step is we're going to understitch. Vicki says, I think you would not want to use stretch fabric for a pocket bag if possible. So it would always be stretch on non-stretch. Yes, that is true. I'm only mentioning the combination in case someone is making non-stretch jeans, and it's not an issue. The non-stretch pocket bag will act as a tummy control panel if you sew it into the side seam and center front. That's why I like a trouser style pocket bag. If you're making non-stretch jeans, you don't have to worry about it because, you know, it's not going to stretch. But thank you for pointing that out. You really don't want to use a stretch fabric for your pocket bags. So Vicki gets a gold star. All right, so now I'm going to line up the intersection between my pocket bag and my denim so it's in the middle, and then I'm going to move my needle a little bit closer to that because now I'm just going to stitch along. This is called understitching. I'm stitching through the pocket. Both seam allowances are also facing this way over here, right here, and I'm going to pull away like this as I stitch. Pulling away gives the fabric a little bit of tension, and it actually encourages the pocket bag or facing to stay on the wrong side. Now as I come around the curve, I'm going to be doing this with my hands, pulling it away like this. All right, so I'm just going to keep understitching here. Now when I get to the other end, I want to create a completely perpendicular line. So what I mean by that is I want it to be completely perpendicular here. If it's closed a little bit, like if it's on an angle like that, when you fold it to the back, it's not going to lay straight. It's not going to lay. So you want to make sure it's completely straight. And then I just want to show you here. Having a little bit narrower than a 1/2 inch allowance when you sew and pulling the fabric as you understitch, it's going to actually create a situation where I can almost finger press this into the perfect position. So I just want to show you here. If I just finger press it, I don't have to clip any edges. See how nice that is? Okay, and now I'm going to get my iron over here. And I'm gonna put my pocket bag down like this. I want to see a little bit of the gray fabric as I press. So let me just get this lined up. I'm just gonna use my iron. And I just want to see the turn of cloth around the opening. I want to see that gray denim showing as I press. And I'm going to use my clapper to trap the heat and help really get a nice crisp edge here. Ouch. I gotta do this little piece separate up here. Okay. So I'm just using my clapper. This is from Vintage American Modern, or Modern American Vintage. Makes beautiful woodwork tools. I mean, beautiful wood crafted tools. All right, now I want you to look at how cool or nice and crisp that edge is. And I'm gonna zoom in so you can really see it. Maybe make it, oops, let me just make it a little bit lighter so you can see. Look how nice and flat that is. That's a nice crisp opening for a front pocket. All right, so that's the front pocket. Now, the next thing is I have to top stitch. And of course, did I think of that before I came on? No, I did not. So what am I going to use to top stitch now? I already know I don't have black top stitching thread because I used 2 strands of black. So I think that's what I'm going to do again since I have black on there already. So that's another tip. If you don't have, if you don't have top stitching thread, you can use 2 spools of all-purpose thread threaded through, the same needle. Okay, so I'm just gonna thread the second one through. So now I've got them both. And let me see if I can just quickly thread my needle. I've got my, where did I put my, oh my goodness, I cleaned my whole table so I wouldn't have to look for anything today. And I've already lost my, oh no, I didn't. I'm gonna use my wonderful Thread Magic conditioner to get this to go through easy peasy. I'm in love with this stuff. So you take your Thread Magic, you stick it on, I like to sink it in, and then you pull it out like that. And I'm just gonna get this in here like this. And then I'm gonna, oh, I guess I gotta clip my thread here. Hold on. All right, and then I'm gonna thread this. Oops, what's happening here? Oh, Vicky says you can top stitch with 1 thread using the triple stitch. Yes, you can. Do I want to do that? Let's try that instead. All right, I'm giving Vicky another gold star. Yeah, because you know what? I did this. If you want to see how to use 2 all-purpose threads to do top stitching, go look back at the first pair of jeans I made, because I did use the 2. I did use the 2 strands for that. All right, so let's test it though. So the triple stitch, and let me show you how to see that. Actually, Vicki, I'm really glad you brought that up, because the triple straight stitch is, they say it's a stretch stitch. I would never use it on knits unless it was a super stable knit, because a lot of times it will eat your knit because it's so thread dense. But basically, this is the stitch right here. And you can see it's got 3 straight stitches. That's the triple straight stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and get that stitch set up on my machine here. It's stitch number 5. And then we're going to stitch on a sample to see if we like it. If you're going to use a stitch that's not like a standard straight stitch for something, just do a sample. So I've got my, where's my, oh, actually, this will work out great. Where's my, all right, this is my, I'm going to use this because this will kind of reproduce, this will kind of reproduce what we're going to be stitching through because it's got the black and the gray. There's two layers of the black on the real deal, but this will give us a good idea. I'm going to make my stitch length, it's set at 4.5. Let's leave it at that and let's see what we get. This is exciting. Now see, what I wanted to show you is I'm going to zoom in really close. And I just want you to see what the stitch is doing as it goes. I'm going to go really slow so you can see it takes 1, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And that's how it gets that triple layer, because it's going forward twice, backwards once. Yeah, at least 3.5 for a stitch length. I'll tell you, the default on my machine was 4.5. So that's why I just left it. But that's good. You don't want a short stitch, because if you make a short stitch, it'll start to pile on itself. So let's just zoom in. Oops. That's what it looks like. I think that'll be nice. Triple straight stitch Mary for top stitching versus using 2 of the regular all-purpose threads to top stitch. I'm trying a different thing. Welcome. Sue says, my theory on the clapper is that when you're ironing, you are adding heat and moisture, and the clapper flattens the fabric and takes away the heat and moisture for a nice crease. Yes, that's exactly what it does, Sue. The wood traps the heat and moisture if you're steaming, and then it absorbs the heat and moisture and leaves you with a nice crease. But first it traps it and keeps it there for a minute. And plus you can put more pressure instead of scalding your fabric with the sole plate of the iron. So these really are little miracle workers. They really make a difference. All right, so we like that. So I'm gonna get my leg back. Where's my leg? My leg, my leg, my leg. My leg, my leg, my leg. Here it is. Okay, so now I'm gonna stitch. And for these, I'm gonna do minimal top stitching. So I did lots of top stitching on the first pair that I made. So this is gonna be a sort of a minimal, like not a lot of top stitching details, and I'm going to use my favorite little hem guide for this because I want to make sure I keep it exactly the same. And since I've got this big wide foot here, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna start. So what I'm gonna do here is, you can see I've got this nice crisp edge that I made. It is nice and crisp. Okay. But before I start sewing, I'm going to make sure it's laying nice and flat like this. And I'm going to make sure that the layers are even. So I'm literally going to just flatten this like this. And I'm just going to stick a pin over here. And I'm going to stick a pin over here. I'm just going to, this is just to help control the stretch denim on, again, on the non-stretch pocket bag. I'm just anchoring it away down here like this, and that'll keep the fabric from creeping up this way as I sew. So I'm just holding it there. Hey Sylvia, welcome. Happy New Year to you too. I'm showing how to sew jeans 100% with no serger. That's going to be this series. All right, so I want to get this so I can sew really close to my edge accurately. So I'm going to put it on like this. Okay, and again, I've got the mounting putty underneath. So all I'm doing every time I use this foot, I'm going to move myself down here so I'm out of the way. I'm going to move myself over here. There's mounting putty under here. So see, I just put it down and it sticks. Like I don't have to screw it on or anything. I love this thing. And then I can take my fabric and I can stick it under that little paddle. So you can see now I'm paying attention to keeping the fabric against the hem guide right there. All right, so let's stitch this and see how we like it. And again, I'm going to just go slow. I'm going to take it out of there until I get around the corner, actually, because I don't want it to push. This isn't great for corners. Okay, now that I'm getting around the corner, I'm going to put it back under there and see if I can... All right. Yeah, as I get away from the corner, it'll work better. Oh, I forgot this was not good. Oh, maybe if I put it at an angle like that. All right, so angling it like this would have helped me get around the corner. So that would have been cool if I had thought of that earlier. A lot of times I think of these things as I'm working in progress here. But basically, now I'm on the straight edge, so I can just use this. Now notice how long it's taking to sew this one little piece. That's the one downside of using the triple zigzag. It takes forever to stitch. All right, let's look and see how we're doing here. Oh yeah, I got a little wonky in here because I was having trouble going around the corner, but in the big scheme of things, I think that will be fine. So again, it's just gonna be a real simple top stitching like that. Now that I've top stitched, I'm going to take these pins off and I'm going to turn it around like this. Let me just back up so you can see what I'm doing. So here's our pocket, right? It's all top stitched. I'm going to turn it around like this and I'm going to get my pocket bag like this. And I'm going to line it up. Now, where does it need to line up? It needs to line up, you know, along the side seam edge. All the side seam edges need to line up like this. And the whole bottom edge of the pocket bag. So this lines up, this lines up, this lines up. Where am I sewing right now? I am sewing this bottom edge. So I'm just going to pick it up like this. And I'm just going to stick some pins in there, like this. Okay, so I've got 3 pins in the bottom of the pocket bag, and I'm going to bring my machine back over. I'm going to stitch, I'm going to go to straight stitch first, and I'm literally going to stitch just to have enough room. I'm going to stitch a half an inch away. So I'm going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance for the bottom of this pocket bag, like this. Backpacking. I'm literally just stitching like this. Then, because I'm not using a serger, I'm going to go back and get my triple zigzag, and I'm going to stitch really close to the edge. All right, so what that gives me is, it gives me a clean finish. Okay, so no serger. I did a clean finish here. I'll just make it a little brighter so you can see. See the stitching there, right? So, oh, Vicky is on point today. I was just gonna say that if you'd rather do a French seam, you totally can do a French seam. A French seam is when you put the wrong sides together first, stitch it at a scant quarter or an eighth, and then turn it and stitch it again, like a French seam. I didn't do that for this pair because the denim I'm working with is so lightweight. I was afraid it would show a ridge, you know, along the bottom of the pocket when I was wearing it, because these are going to be a snug fit. So I want to make this bottom edge as like as minimal as possible. Like there's almost no bulk there. Okay, but if you wanted to do the French seam, you could totally do a French seam. So I'm just going to give this a nice press now. And I'm going to be showing you French seam next week. There will be a time when I will use either a French seam or a flat felled seam to finish edges, because remember, we're not going to have any serger going on here. Now, this pocket is completely done. I'm just going to put a few pins in here so I can turn it around without losing the how it's laying. Okay. All right, so here is how it looks from the right side. And I can see right here I need to fix this here. Just make sure it's laying 100% right from this side as well. So you can see what I want to show you here is from the right side. See, here's my indentation. See how you can barely see an indentation? Let's iron it and see if we can see it with the iron. I think you will be able to see it with the iron, but so I'm basically smashing the denim against the bottom of that pocket bag, and you can see it's right here. Here it is. But you can see it's not very noticeable, right? Oh, there you can see it. See it right there? Okay, so that's why I didn't do a French seam, because I want it to be as no bulk as possible. All right, so that's the front pocket. I'm going to do the other front pocket the exact same way. Next week, I'm going to have all sorts of progress on this, and then wherever I need to share with you, like different things, like whatever techniques I use that are different because I'm not using a serger, I'm going to have a sample or do it on these jeans to show you. So the goal of this part of the Jean Sew Along is to show you how to make jeans start to finish without using a serger. So I'm kind of excited about that. All right, let me just see here. Marthan says, that is so cool. I never thought of doing that. I always learn something, even if I'm not making what you are. Well, that's wonderful, Marthan. I'm glad you learn stuff, and I'm glad you came. I'm glad you're here, and I'm going to send you prayers for your son and warm fuzzies, because that's hard. So, you know, and I love it that you guys can come to this place and spend time with me on Fridays. And if you want to share something that's going on, please feel free. I feel like this is a safe space. All of my followers and subscribers and sewing friends and, you know, they're also caring, and I feel safe to share things with you here. And, you know, if you want to share something, share it, because sometimes you just feel better to talk about it. I will tell you, I'm not going to tell you specifics just out of respect of the family's privacy, but last week we did lose a very special sewing friend here. My friend Diane who comes to almost all the FabFit Fridays, passed away last week. And her husband called to tell me, and I wanted to tell you last week, and I couldn't, and I felt like I needed some time for the family to tell everybody they were telling, and but I mean, it really did me in. So, I'm sending prayers and warm fuzzies to Diane's family. And if any of you guys remembered her from here, she was such a lovely woman, just a beautiful person, and that was hard. So anyway, that happened, and it's been a couple weeks now, so it's been a week, so I can share that happened. So again, I want to thank everybody for spending time with me, and feel like you can share if you want to share something, because everyone who follows me here is compassionate and lovely, and I want to thank you for that, because you've created a safe space for me. So if it's safe for me, it must be safe for all of you as well. So thank you for that. I'm going to be Janice says thank you for telling us about Diane. You're welcome. Now there's two Dianes here. It's not Diane Bacon, it's Diane Fetters. So just to be clear, I have two, and actually both Dianes became friends because of being here together on my stream, and then they realized they live close to each other. Yes, see, Pat said you knew her from her enthusiasm and sharing. I mean, she basically took every class from me that I ever offered. She always supported me. She was in the Facebook group, and she always had a kind word for not only things I was doing, but anyone else was doing. And, I'm just feeling very yucky about that. And then also, I'm sure you guys have heard that Claire Schaefer also passed away suddenly. Claire Schaefer is an icon of our industry. I never met her, but I feel a certain sadness, when I heard that she had passed away suddenly as well. So I just feel like, So I'm just going to exude prayers and warm fuzzies and just send them out globally, because, lots of people have lots of things going on, and you need to be sensitive to that. So there you are. So that's my little thing to finish with. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, be a downer, but I did want to tell people, and I don't want to put it like in my public Facebook. I want to put it places that, oh, Diane, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you didn't know. If you want to email me. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just felt funny, talking about it on my, now this is obviously a public website, but, only people who follow me, will listen to this. So that's why I feel like it's okay to talk about it here at the end. So yeah. Oh, Barbara didn't know about Claire. Yeah, I found out, obviously, because some of my sewing friends and sewing teachers knew her and told me. That's how I found out. And then I started to see things about it on Facebook, or Instagram. So it just is all very sad. So there you are. So we're going to gather ourselves up, and we're just going to, we're just going to be kind with each other. And we're going to, I don't know, just be kind. That's all I can say. I'm just going to be kind to everybody. So that's all I have for today. And now I'm going to do my, I'm going to start to ramble situation. And, so I'm going to hang up now, and I will see you next Friday for more Jean Sew Along. And I will also, have a cool tool and a FabFit Friday. I want you to know that my, my new efficient workflow is working. It's taking me some practice to really get it full force, but I can see where this is really going to help me. Oh, Vicky says Claire will be missed. She has been doing YouTube talks on her designer collection. I know, she was a true talent. So here you are. All right, Jana says have a good weekend. Sylvia says bye, Jan. Mary says, I don't mind you rambling. Oh, thank you. I start to feel silly when I start to ramble. So anyway, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you guys for watching. if you have any questions about sewing your jeans with no serger, please post those. I will help you. So have a great weekend, everybody. Happy Martin Luther King Day on Monday. If you have a 3-day weekend, enjoy that. And I'm looking forward to a little snow on Sunday. So that's my report. Signing off. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, 2015. I know. I wished I had had a chance to meet with her. Or meet her in person. Diane. I mean, well, actually, both Diane and Claire, I never had a chance to meet in person. So I'm lucky. I'm really happy that you had a chance to take a class with her in 2015. That's wonderful, Vicki. Okay, I'm going now. Bye-bye.